Welcome along then to the Breakdown Live here at Emirates Stadium. First things first, Merry Christmas. I hope you and yours had a good one. I'm alongside, as always, Adrian, Clarke for this game against West Ham United. A couple of days rest for the boys. No Boxing Day game.
I know. What a result for them, hey? I wonder whether they had Christmas Day off. I would imagine they might have done, which was a rarity, let me tell you, if you're a professional footballer. So, yeah, I think they'd be pleased with the way the fixtures have lined up. A little bit of a breather because it was a tough game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Liverpool away just before Christmas. So, yeah, there's no excuse not to be ready for tonight, you know, fully sharp, ready for a London derby against a West Ham team that needs to be respected.
Yeah. As a player, did you like playing at Christmas time?
I loved it. Yeah.
I've spoken to some, they hated it. Like, I was talking to Nigel Winterburn, he said he didn't enjoy it, but you loved it.
I like it because the atmosphere was always a bit different. Like, obviously, it's different at Arsenal these days. You get a sell-out every game. But when I went and played down the leagues, you always got the bumper crowds around Christmas. In particular, a lot of families come out. And I don't know, it's just what you grow up with, and if you don't play football at Christmas, it just feels weird. So yeah, it's just something everyone's into. And now, even as a broadcaster, if I didn't have any games to work on, I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
It's so true. You'd just be kind of hanging around, twiddling your thumbs. Right, we should give you the starting 11 if you've not managed to see the team just yet. I'll run you through it. In goal, David Raya continues, of course. Then we've got the usual back four of Wright, Gabriel Saliba and Zinchenko. Then Rice, Ødegaard and Trossard in for Kai Havertz. Saka, Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus complete the lineup. I guess the talking point is the one that a lot of people guessed in that Trossard comes in for the suspended Kai Havertz.
I think he deserves it as well. He's a quality player, isn't he, Leandro Trossard? I really like him. He's unfortunate that he's up against Gabriel Martinelli in his probably number one spot, Jesus in his number two spot, and Kai Havertz has suddenly found some really good form in probably Leo's third spot in the side. But he gets his chance tonight because Kai is suspended, and I expect him to shine. I think the reason behind the selection is pretty simple. West Ham away from home against the big teams, they don't have much of the ball. They're going to absolutely play on the counter-attack tonight. They're going to sit, you know, at times they'll have the ball, of course they will, but this could be a 65-70% possession type of game for Arsenal. And in that situation, you want players that are intelligent, that are bright, that they've got good energy, good movement, and players who can score goals. And we know that Trossard, against a deep-lying defence, has the ability, if you give him space, to spank one in the top corner.
And, you know, just on that, actually, our defence, we'll talk about it more when we get up to the box, but just to touch on it, you know, because Bowen starts, Kudus starts for West Ham, our defence will have to be, you know, on it tonight.
Oh, absolutely. They're on fire, aren't they? Kudus is playing great. Bowen, seven goals in 9 away games. Incredible. Paqueta's firing the ammunition. They have to be respected. I think Zinchenko has a massive job to do tonight. Zinchenko has to look after the ball. I want him in the team because we're going to have loads of the ball, but he can't give it away cheaply, because if he does, Kudus and Bowen will spin into his channel and potentially cause us problems. So he's got a lot of responsibility on him. Yeah,
an incredibly dangerous attack that we'll have to keep an eye on. Right, we should welcome our fan club on for the day then. We've been all around the world lately as well, haven't we? We've had Arsenal America, we've had Arsenal Japan, Slovenia in the building as well.
Aren't we?
Oh, we really are. But today we're playing a little bit closer to home, because we're going to welcome Mike, Joel and Lewis from Arsenal Gloucester onto the show now. Come on, guys. Jump in.
Nice to meet you.
I would say I've got no hands, like free, so just jump in.
Over that side of Nick. Hello. You're right. Hi, come this side. Yeah.
Just jump in. Right, Mike, is it? Yeah. So tell us about Arsenal Gloucester, how you guys got started and kind of where you meet for games.
We formed in October 2004, so next year's our 20th anniversary. Wow. We most of the members are sort of spread out from Gloucester down to sort of Exeter in the southwest, so we don't always get chance, but sometimes we do meals. We'll go and watch matches at local pubs up and down the West Country, and obviously come to games.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So you don't have one specific pub in the heart of Gloucester where you meet up?
No. I'm not going to give them a shade.
They're not giving you the free pints.
No, we can get 3 pints.
How many of you are in the building tonight?
There are 25 somewhere.
Oh, brilliant.
Somewhere dotted around. Yeah. We'd have more, but, you know, the allocations are what they are.
It's hard to get a ticket these days,
it's a privilege getting a ticket these days. But we've got 200 membership.
That's brilliant.
So, and we'll take all 25 tickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Game.
Brilliant. What's your name?
I'm Joel.
Joel, do you get to many games then up here at Emirates?
Yeah, we get to a fair few, probably between 3 and 4 during the year. We try and get the better games, but I've had privilege of seeing us beat United this year, so
Lovely.
Good omen.
Yeah.
Good omen.
Yeah.
No, I don't know much about Gloucester, right, but I was at Gloucester Services the other day. What a service station!
Lovely, yeah.
It is incredible.
Lovely, yeah,
What
yeah.
else in Gloucester? Can you tell us? What else is there in Gloucester that's a bit special?
don't come to the city. I wouldn't advise.
Got Fred West,
Yeah.
I suppose. I'm not sure you should be proud of Fred West, should you really?
Right, let's get on to tonight.
Let's change the subject.
Yeah, let's get on to tonight. I think West Ham United. Lewis, it is right on this side. How are you feeling ahead of the game tonight?
Bit nervous because they're a good side, aren't they? But I think we'll do well. I think we'll get a really good result tonight.
When you say good result, what are we talking? If I had to push you for a prediction,
I'd say a narrow 2-1 win.
Lewis has gone for a 2-1.
Yeah, what are we going
here.
for over here?
I'm backing the boys to keep a clean sheet at home. I know. I reckon 2-0. 2-0.
Happy days.
2-0, and Mike?
I hope the West Ham team that played Liverpool in the Carabao Cup turn up.
Yeah. You're not wrong. That would be nice. Yeah.
Score, go on.
Oh, I don't know. 3-0?
3-0. We like that.
Confident boys
Yeah,
in Gloucester,
yeah.
aren't they? Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, enjoy the game tonight. Hopefully, one of your predictions rings true. We'll let you get off.
Yeah,
Get
good
to
to
the
see you, boys. Yeah,
other
thank you very much.
Kind
Nice
of
to meet you.
22 of you that are about. Nice
Yeah.
one, guys.
All the best.
Take care.
Yeah, and you.
Take care.
And you. Yeah.
There we go. So confident ahead of this one. And
Yeah, it's a lot of confidence. Oh, we should be confident.
rightfully so, I think, because we're at home. You know, I know West Ham, as we touched on, have got a dangerous attack on the counter, but we should have more than enough.
7 straight wins here at Emirates Stadium, and we're going to go through some of the numbers behind those wins when we continue the show upstairs in the box. It's been a great run of form here at Emirates Stadium. West Ham have got goals in them compared to previous years. They're always a little bit defensive, but because of Kudus, because of Bowen, because of the excellent creativity of Paquetá, they're always capable of scoring goals. So we've got to keep that back door shut tonight. But I expect us to create plenty and to hopefully score multiple times.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Clarke. Multiple times, he said. Right, we should do your question.
Go for
Clarke's question, just before we hear from Mikel Arteta. Right, the question is this then. Who scored a hat-trick in our first ever visit to West Ham's London Stadium? So who scored a hat-trick for Arsenal, I should point out, in our first ever visit to West Ham's
Remember it well.
London
Good
Stadium?
hat-trick as well.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll find out the answer shortly. But as I say, whilst we head up to the My Arsenal Awards box, Mikel sat down with the press ahead of this one, and here's what he had to say.
Hi, Mikel. Nice to
Hi,
see you.
hello.
Hope you had a nice Christmas.
Very good, thank you. How you too?
Yeah, it was lovely, thanks. Just how nice was it, though, during this very hectic period of the season, to be able to take a couple of days off for the players and for you personally?
Well, it's a beautiful time of the year, especially when you have kids and they still have this magic feeling about it. And yeah, we had the opportunity this year because of the schedule to have some time off as well and to enjoy that period in a different way.
Lots of games coming up, so just wondering how the squad is sort of injury-wise and specifically with Thomas Partey and Takehiro Tomiyasu. Are they any closer to coming back?
No, nothing has changed yet. With those two, we're not going to have them available, unfortunately, yet. And then we have the suspension of Kai, so I think it's 5 players missing the squad. And yeah, we are a bit short, but the team has been doing well, and we still have a lot of players very willing to play.
Is there a chance we could see those players before they go away on international duty for the Asia Cup or Africa Cup of Nations?
There is a chance, yes, but we have to see. They haven't trained with the team yet, so they're still far away of that. But hopefully they can evolve in the right way.
And do you know when they're leaving yet? Because I know some clubs are in discussions with nations about when they can and can't.
Yeah, there is some talks between the clubs and the federations at the moment, and we haven't decided yet when is the best way to do it.
If you win tomorrow, obviously you'll go back top of the table. You'll be top of the table at the halfway point in the season. A lot was made of that last season. Does it feel different this time around? Do you feel more confident this time, this part of the season?
It feels similar. It's always a really good feeling to have the chance to be at the top of the Premier League, with understanding as well how competitive it is, that even is more competitive than last year and more difficult than last year. And tomorrow we're going to have a really difficult opponent in front of us, and we're going to have to be at our best.
Talking about the title challenge, how important is January going to be then in terms of the transfer window? Any business done, how important will it be to get it done and get it done early so you're in the best position possible?
That's a different matter. We are just focusing on the game of tomorrow, the importance of that one, the importance of Fulham, the importance of the FA Cup, and then we'll have a little break there to think and assess the options that we had and how we can be better.
And one more from me, just how difficult is tomorrow's game going to be? There's some good battles against West Ham in recent memory, and obviously coming up against Dave Moyes again.
Very difficult. They are a really good side, really well coached. Incredible the success that I had last year, the position that they are again this season. So they're showing a lot of consistency. You see the games that they beat Spurs, they beat Manchester United. So that tells you everything, and that's the difficulty of the game. And tomorrow that we're gonna have to be a really, really good.
Syria from PLP.
Hello.
Hi.
Odegaard was strong out of possession against Liverpool. He was winning his second balls. He won the most duels. Recently, he's been playing a much deeper role in midfield, helping Arsenal play out the back, and in general being a lot more influential in build-up. Previously, he was like a second striker, being direct, much more attacking. Do you see your captain's strengths thrive more in build-up play?
Well, there are certain games that require certain things from certain players, and we have used Martin in to accommodate the needs that the team had against certain behaviors and certain challenges that the opponent puts us to make us better, and that's a big quality of his. You have mentioned as well the defensive part, which is really impressive, and I'm really happy with that because it's a part of the game that we want to transform and keep evolving.
Martinelli's also been a great player for you, and he has a very high ceiling. Recently, there's been a lot of attention on his decision-making in front of goal or when he's in threatening areas. When it comes to young players in particular, what do you think is the best way for him to improve on these things? Or do you think it's more mentality and confidence within form at the moment?
Well, being open first, working hard and practicing the situation that you face in the game as much as possible, and then having the courage to do it time and time and time again. And he's one of the best in the world at that.
And last year, December at home against West Ham, you came back 1-0 down, you beat them 3-1. I remember the atmosphere and how the fans really lifted the squad. You have 3 London derbies in a row coming up, and we know that adds a little bit extra competitiveness. What's your message to the fans ahead of those games?
First of all, thank you for everything that they've done throughout the year and the way they have supported and inspired the team. And for tomorrow, please go to that stadium and get it rocking, get behind the team, inspire them again. And the team is going to try to do everything that we can to get them out of the seats. But it's going to be the last game of the year in front of them. So I think it's a special moment. So let's make it beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark from PA.
Hi, Mikel. You mentioned that it feels similar to last year when you were top of the league and everything. Do you think that you and your players will have learnt a lesson from what happened last season that you can carry into this year?
I hope so. But we have to prove it every day. And the competition, it's incredible this season, how difficult it is to win every single game. You can see the results and how surprised you get every time you see the scores on your app sometimes. And it's the beauty of this league that tomorrow you're going to have to be so good again to beat West Ham, and the next day to go to Fulham is going to be so tough. And that's the demands, and that's where we are.
You obviously know David really well. Do you think sometimes he doesn't get the appreciation he deserves for what he's done in his managerial career? Obviously won a European trophy last year as well.
Well, when you look at managing this league that they have managed for so long, they've been more successful than him. It's not easy, you know, and how long, and in the teams that he's done it as well, and how he's done it. I think, obviously, I know him, and I love him a lot, and I'm so grateful for everything that he did for me and the times that we had together. But I think he's an outstanding manager, and he does it in a way that it's, in my opinion, very, very special, without making too much noise. But what I have accomplished again at West Ham, I think is remarkable.
You mentioned there how long he's managed in the Premier League. He's actually the 8th longest serving manager in the whole of England at the moment with West Ham. You're 7th on that list out of the whole of the 92 clubs. Is that a bit of a surprise to you that you're so high up?
I'm getting old, I think, man. Well, I'm surprised, but as well it tells you a lot, you know, how difficult this job is, and to keep in the job, and the amount of the clubs that are changing managers, and because 4 years, before probably that number would have been very different. Is what it is. That's the context that we live in, and let's keep going.
Okay, Clarke from Football London.
Hi, Mikel. I just want to ask another one about Gabriel Martinelli. His numbers in the Champions League this season have been really impressive. He's scored or assisted in every single game, but in the Premier League, maybe not quite as high. I just wonder why you think there's been such a difference between the two competitions.
Difficult to put something into it. Sometimes decision making, sometimes scoring, hitting the post, missing a chance, receiving a ball to score are details, and he's really trying. He's a massive threat for us, and everything that he generates, not only with the ball, without the ball as well. The amount of time that he threats in the back line, the pressure that he puts in that back line, it's a key player for us, and things will happen again.
You speak about the courage that he has to keep going and keep trying the things to help the team. Do you think maybe when you get to that final third and that final action, maybe just there's a little bit of confidence that he's struggling with at the moment?
I think confidence is not a problem for Gabi. He sometimes the efficiency or putting the break down and lifting your head up and making that decision, for everybody is the most difficult thing to do, and finding that composure and timing inside the box. But certainly lack of confidence or try is not going to be an issue for him.
Okay, last couple in the live section. Simon from Even Standard.
Okay, you're saying a bit how obviously the squad's quite tight at the moment. Looking ahead to January, do you feel in a position where you can't afford to let anyone go?
Well, at the moment it's very difficult. We are really short. We have positions that we've been very exposed for the last 6 weeks, and hopefully we're gonna get players back. In what condition and when, that's a question mark, and as well because we have some long-term injuries still for certain players that give us a lot of versatility, and that's an issue.
There we go, the thoughts of Mikel Arteta ahead of this one then. Clarke, we made our way up to the My Arsenal Awards box and we just photobombed Mikel Arteta on live on Amazon Prime.
Apparently we were on telly, yeah. Basically getting a custard pie off Mikel Arteta. There we were, looking for eye contact. Straight past us, wasn't it?
He waved at someone in the crowd.
Yeah,
but,
game face on, didn't he? You can't blame him. But yeah, it's a big old game, isn't it?
Yeah, right, let's deal with Clarke's question then. So before we headed up to the box, the question was, who scored a hat-trick for us in our first ever visit to West Ham's London Stadium? Anyone in here know the answer to that? Anyone? Feel free to shout it out if someone knows. Don't look at the person next to you.
Come on.
Sanchez!
Of course it was.
There we go. Yeah, Alexis Sanchez.
What a good hat-trick it was, if I remember rightly. I mean, he went through on at least one one-on-one. But yeah, it was a quality hat-trick. Love it.
I mean,
he's a pretty good player, wasn't he?
They were talking on the Arse blog this week. I don't know if you heard it, about if you could have a player, an ex-Arsenal player who wasn't an invincible, because everybody just picks Thierry Henry, don't they? Basically, an ex-Arsenal player who wasn't an invincible into this Arsenal team in their prime. Who would it be? And Alexis.
He would get a lot of people's votes, wouldn't he? I mean, he was an exciting player. He gets forgotten a little bit because we didn't have a great team at that point. But yeah, great fun to watch.
Yeah. Right, if you want to be here with us in the box, you can do so by redeeming the code which is about to appear on the screen. You guys in the box can do this as well to get hold of some points. Maybe you can come again if you get enough points. Who knows? 100 points for this game, Clarke. I don't know how the points are decided.
It's very random, but yeah, look, 100 points. Yeah, we'll take it, won't we?
I'll never know how they decided. But ahead of this one, how's everybody feeling? Confident? Yeah, I like that. I think so. We talked about it downstairs. I think it's a good fixture for us.
Outstanding, hasn't it? It's just been tremendous. I think you have got to have respect for West Ham because they've got good players that could hurt us. But I look at their defence tonight, a little bit depleted. I look at their stats over the course of this season. They face an awful lot of shots. I just think they're not as robust as they were when they had Declan Rice. It's as simple as that. They've still got the same tactics, but the difference for me this season is no Rice makes them weaker at the back, but because they've signed Kudus and Ward-Prowse and various quality attacking players, they are better going forward. Paquetá obviously as well. So, they're a dangerous team, but I think we should win. Yeah, we're going to touch on quite a few of those players in a bit, but we should talk about the fact that we spent Christmas Day top of the Premier League table, Clarke. Although we've been replaced now because of we're playing last, I guess, in this round of fixtures, but. Top at Christmas, it's like, it is a mental thing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean anything, does it? But people talk about it, though. They do. It's like you've won the first half of the season, but you don't get a prize for it, do you? And I think the last few times we've been top at Christmas, we haven't gone on to win it. The same's happened to Liverpool on numerous occasions. City, actually, are very rarely top at Christmas. So, it's one of those that everyone talks about it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really a big deal. But it just goes to show that we've had a very good start to the season. I still think there's more to come. I was a little bit I'm not disappointed. I mean, Mikel Arteta was really bullish, wasn't he, afterwards with the Liverpool performance? He thought it was a high-quality game and that it showed how far we've come. And I got that. But in the same breath, I know we can play better. We were slipping over so much, weren't we, for a start? I think we can control matches better than we did at Anfield. And I think if we'd have played to our potential, we would have won that game. And then we'd be in a really, really strong position coming into the new year. But we can't complain.
Yeah, it's definitely... There is a level of frustration there from Arsenal fans, though, isn't there? Just in terms of we've gone in the lead at Anfield 2 years in a row and not managed to win the game.
Yeah, but they're a good team. Liverpool are quality. They score goals. I don't think there's any shame in that result. We've had some real shockers at Anfield, so we'll happily take a 1-1, I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's get our first guest on, and it's a big guest. We only have big ones on this show, to be fair. He's simply an Arsenal legend. He's an invincible. Let's hear it for Gilberto Silva, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. Jump in the middle. Lovely to see you. Yeah, lovely to see you, Gilberto. How's life? How are you feeling?
Fantastic. Especially here, back at Emirates, and. This is Arsenal family, right?
Yeah, this is the family, yeah. And top at Christmas, you probably were top at Christmas on numerous times as an Arsenal player. Doesn't win you a prize, but it shows you've had a good start to the season, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always great, be around, and at this time of the year, come back to the stadium to watch some games is always great again. And sometimes we just complain, as a Brazilian, complain about the weather, but we always love to come back to London and watch some game in the prison. It's lovely.
But, speaking as a Brazilian, we have to ask you about our Brazilian trio that we have, I guess, in the starting 11. Martinelli, Gabriel, Gabby. Yeah. Your thoughts on the guys and kind of, how well they've managed to integrate into the team?
I'm pretty happy to see the way they integrate in the team, the way they are doing things, and seems that what we have done before, myself, Edu, Silvinho, they are keeping the legacy of the Brazilians here, doing well. I hope you guys are enjoying what they are doing. As I'm doing, I'm watching them from since when they came. I'm so impressed, especially Martinelli, because he came so young. It's not so easy for a Brazilian to come to England, Premier League, for a big club like Arsenal, and seems like he was just play with his friends. Mm-hmm. But they understand what Arsenal really means and the responsibility they've got, to do and what they have to do in order to help the team.
Yeah, he's a strong character. You can tell that, can't you? I just love watching him play. He's got so much passion, hasn't he, for football. I also love watching Gabriel Jesus. I just love watching him. He creates so much chaos, and people always look at his goal record, okay, and they look at that number and they say, could Gabriel Jesus be replaced? But for me, he creates so many more goals for other players, right?
Well, this is it's always tough, imagine as a Brazilian number 9, being the national team, the comparison with Ronaldo, Romario, coming at Arsenal, Thierry. The stature of those players, this comparison is so high level, and he's a different type of player, and you picked very well, he creates opportunities for others, although he can score, but he's doing a great job. He's a hard work guy. I love the way he works on the field, work hard, bang on the defenders, fight them, and create opportunities for himself and for the others. Well, and sometimes, it's not fair, some of the comments, I believe so. But the most important thing is just he keep what he has done, keep focus and keep helping the team.
Now, Gilberto, something we love doing with the ex-Arsenal players that come in is we get them to pick a five-a-side team of players that ex-Arsenal players that they used to play with. If you had to pick a five-a-side...
Arsenal players?
Yeah, yeah. Arsenal players.
Yeah, it would be much easier. Okay, maybe you may have some surprise. Okay. I have to be on the team.
Okay.
I have to be on the team. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're sure. Yeah.
Then is Thierry, Patrick, and Edu. We don't need a goalkeeper.
Nobody is picking a goalie.
He's no goalie. Why? With those qualities, why you need a goalie?
Hang on,
You know, if I choose Jens, he's gonna complicate everything.
Oh, you've only got 4.
He's a good
No,
guy.
himself.
No, myself,
Thierry.
Dennis,
Oh, I didn't
Edu,
hear this. Yeah, okay.
and Patrick.
What a team that is.
You don't need a goalie.
We don't need a goalie. We have 3 at the back, you know, Dennis and
I tell you what,
Thierry.
if I was to ask you in a few years' time, maybe you'd consider Declan Rice in there. I've got to ask you about him, someone that played in your
he's
position.
fantastic.
I mean, what's your opinion on the way that he started as an Arsenal player?
Well, look at the way he's been at Arsenal from the first day. For me, it's like the rain in the desert. Some player that Arsenal really needs, you know, for such a long time. We don't see a player playing the way he does, you know, protecting the back four, but giving also the power and the energy in the middle and supporting the other guys. And I think there was a lot of complaint as well, you know, from fans. We need somebody there, you know, need somebody to stay in front of defenders. But he's doing so well. You know, he's a good player, very smart. He's very strong physically. He's a monster. You know, I think it's fair to say that, you know, he's, in my opinion, one of the most important players now. Not exactly because, you know, everybody talks about him, but because the role he plays, not many times people pay notice. I know what is that.
Yeah.
You know? But people realize that when you don't have this player in that particular position.
I'm hearing West Ham think we should have given them more money for him. It's too cheap, right?
No, I think it was fair. Business. Business, you know.
Well, listen, last one, because I know you're a busy man, you've got to get off. We do a minute to win it. This is our little leaderboard here. All you need to do is pick the minute that you think the first goal is going to be scored in tonight's game. He's going to have a look. The competitive edge just kicks in.
Timber is actually second. He's not up on that board.
So you're in Timber's in second on that. It's not been updated yet. We're missing parts.
Which one? This is.
So these are people that have done it before.
Okay.
This is the minute that they picked, and that's the amount of minutes they were out by.
Okay. I'll put 19.
19 minutes?
You know, very specific.
Okay.
19 minutes.
That's what we need.
All right. Well, listen, Gilberto, it's an absolute pleasure to have you come in and see us. Let's hear it for an invincible Gilberto Silva. What a guy. What a guy. Handshakes all around as well.
Exactly. Everyone get a handshake off Gilberto. I love it. Love it. Yeah.
I mean, it's always nice when we have ex-players pass through, legends. But Gilberto, what a player he was for us.
Phenomenal. And I think that, you know, with Vieira, obviously Vieira was coming through in my era, and Gilberto was the next. Obviously Fabregas was in amongst it. We had so many good midfielders, but you know, with Patrick and then Gilberto, we had these two pillars, didn't we, in the heart of that midfield, and teams were frightened of them, and they were just like Declan Rice, really. They were doing what he offers the team, and in those intervening years, we didn't have somebody that could do what they do. It's as simple as that. So the template was there, set by Patrick and Gilberto, and I'm glad that we've gone back to it with Declan this season for sure. But a genuine legend, and just a nice guy, isn't he? He's a nice chilled out guy.
Yeah, really good guy. Right, we were talking Liverpool. We should have a look at the goals for that game. Yeah, so this is just to remind you what happened.
Yeah,
we went ahead. Another Brazilian. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, big Gabby, isn't it? Yeah. Simple set piece, wasn't it? But nicely nodded away. Did well to escape the attention of Konate. He sort of made one run for the defender, and he made a second run to get him beyond. This was their goal. Obviously, could we have closed Trent down better? Probably. Could Zini have done better here in the 1v1? I think he probably could. I also think Gabriel's got to be tighter on the cover there. You know exactly what he's going to do here. You know he wants to come onto his left foot. I think Gabriel was kicking himself that he wasn't out a little bit sooner. He goes a second earlier. He puts in a block there, and Salah doesn't score. So it's just two little sort of small errors together in a row, and a player like Salah can punish you. But I think it was a fair result. It could have been a pen. I mean, on the day I said, no, I don't think it is. But I mean, having looked at it a few more times, might got away with one. And the one-on-one, or the 5-on-1,
Yeah.
I should say. I mean, we were quite lucky to escape there. So I think we take the point. Even though I think for a lot of the game we were stronger than Liverpool, I think a draw was probably fair.
I guess my frustration is it was quite their goal. Although, look, you can't deny the quality of the Trent Alexander-Arnold ball, right? It was and he can do that easily. We've seen him do it a number of times. But it seemed like that was their main tactic, pinging one over the top, and it seemed to work every time.
But if you watch Liverpool a lot, and I've got to work on quite a lot of their games this season, it wasn't done for us. It wasn't done because Zinchenko plays there. Virgil van Dijk does it every game. He just spanks it out to Salah. Trent Alexander-Arnold plays those balls every game. He plays 5 or 6 of them. It's hard to stop. They are a very good team with amazing individuals. So I don't think we should beat ourselves up too much. And Mikel, I thought, was very positive afterwards. He was more than happy with the point and the performance. So yeah, look, it gives us a bit more confidence moving forward, doesn't it? We just got to, if we're going to draw those games, we've got to make sure we win these ones at home to West Ham.
Yeah, great point. Another set piece goal as well. It would seem for us. Yeah, we've scored quite a few, haven't we?
Put on the screen. We're the Kings, aren't we? Or the joint Kings, alongside Everton. So. Yeah, look, Nicholas Jover, I think he can go in for a Christmas bonus, can't he? This time around, I mean, yeah, the set-piece coach is doing the business. Not least as well because at the other end of the pitch, I think we're certainly among the lowest in terms of conceding from corners and free kicks as well. So, yeah, even though, I think we all get frustrated sometimes that, a bad delivery, not beating the first man, or get a bit nervous when we're defending set plays. We're actually better at it than pretty much everybody else. So. Long may that continue, because it's the fine margins. Without that set piece, we lose 1-0, and everyone's saying, "Oh, are Arsenal good enough?" So it's a really important part of the game.
One area where, just before we move off of this, when Saliba kind of got integrated into the team, I don't know if you remember this, a lot of the French journalists that had seen him quite a lot, they said the area that he needs to strengthen on is his aerial ability. Yeah. I think he's good in the air now. He's strengthened there. I mean, we've got... that's what they said, journalists that watched him on his loan spells.
I don't think there's an issue. I mean, Gabby is probably better, isn't he? Certainly better at attacking crosses. Saliba doesn't have as many chances, does he, as Gabriel? But in terms of defensively, there's no issue there. Yeah. Just a quick word on Saliba. I think Saliba and Rice were tremendous in that game.
Unreal.
Yeah, and without them, we're just not as stable, just nowhere near as stable as a team. That they give us a robustness that makes us real contenders.
Yeah, right, so we are top of the table, or were top of the table, we should say. Liverpool have since played and have gone above us. We can see there by a couple of points, but a win tonight puts us back top of the tree. Look, it's tight. It is incredibly tight up the top, isn't it?
There's loads to play for, isn't there? How many points? We got 84 points, didn't we, last year? So get 3 points tonight. That'd be 43. So we'll be on schedule to get 86 if we can match it. And do you know what? 86 might win it this year. It might. I don't want to say it will when Man City are in the mix, but I think late 80s will win it.
Man City are vulnerable, though. We've seen this season, they've dropped points.
That penalty.
Like yesterday.
That wound me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, you just got to roll with it. You got to not get too worried about what other teams are doing. You just got to do our own thing.
Well, at the end of the day, the way you look at it is destiny is in our own hands at the moment. You know what I mean? We win every game, we win the league.
Exactly.
That's the way to look at it. Easier said than done, I know, but
I can't believe you've gone early with winning the league.
Listen, I was saying that back when we lost it last year, mate.
I know, this time, was it into February, March last year? We wouldn't say it. No, I don't think anyone wanted to say it, did they? But this time around, we just think we just say it.
Not saying it last year didn't work for us, so this year we're just going to say it.
Stuff superstitions. They're nonsense, aren't
Forget
they?
Forget it. Yeah. Right, let's have a look at today's number, Clarke. Our number is the number 12.
Yeah, unbeaten in our last 12 home London derbies in the Premier League. The last London derby we lost here was against Chelsea when Lukaku... Do you remember when Lukaku... Was it first game or second game of the season? Yeah, after the Brentford. Yeah, after we lost to Brentford. He came here and absolutely owned Pablo Mari, wasn't it? It was... we need the mic there, Nigel, pick up the mic, that's it. Yeah, it was...
Otherwise we can't hear you.
I just said that Reece James scored the other one, didn't he? He's got a banger in the top corner.
But we've been good in these kind of fixtures, though, haven't we? For a long, long time. And I think we can get up on the screen our scorers in these home London derbies, and it tells a story, really. Look, there he is, the star boy. It's not a centre forward. It's, you know, these are our best, or among our best young players, aren't they? Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, the future. Well, they're the stars of now and the future. Emile Smith-Rowe obviously turns up. You know, he was brilliant, wasn't he? Season before last in particular. So, yeah, these London derbies really suit Bukayo Saka. He tends to have a big say in them.
Smith-Rowe's one of those players, because of his, you know, frustrating injury record, you kind of forget just how well he was starting to do, you know, and the ground he was starting to make. The goal against Tottenham springs to mind, you know what I mean?
Well, he'd have probably played tonight, wouldn't he? If Kai Havertz is suspended, as he is. It's his position, really. It's the chance he's been waiting for. But, you know, he's not ready. So, yeah, but don't begrudge Trossard that position tonight. It's a very attacking lineup. But I like it. I like the attitude of Arteta. He's thinking, no, like we're not worried about West Ham. We're going to give them stuff to worry about. And Trossard definitely will concern them, because if you're the two midfielders, Souček and Edson Alvarez, and you've got Odegaard, you know, floating around that way, Trossard floating around there, Jesus coming in between you, sometimes Rice striding down the middle, you're like, this is a headache. Yeah, this is a headache. So, yeah, I just hope that most of the game is played in their half and these guys do the business.
I'll tell you who else normally has a headache here at Emirates Stadium. It's their gaffer, David Moyes. He hates it here, doesn't he? That hasn't got a good record here.
Is it 22 matches? 22 matches, I think, he's had here.
It's drawn 4 or something,
not one. Yeah, I mean, but it's not just here. It's away to Liverpool, away to Man City, away to Man United. He doesn't have a good record in these type of games. Obviously, he's a good manager. He's worked well with West Ham, hasn't he? You know, he's taken them forward. They're in European competition, but yeah, he's got a dismal record in this kind of game. A little bit. He's a very defensive coach, isn't he? And I think he sacrifices a little bit of possession in these games and absorbs a lot of pressure. Tonight, I think it will be the same, but he'll feel more confident this time because he's got Bowen in form, Kudus, Paqueta. So yeah, he'll think, okay, we might give away a goal or two, but we can score a goal or two ourselves. I think that might be his attitude this evening.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why he was... I mean, any manager would be gutted to lose Declan Rice, you know, because he's so good. But, you know, because of the style of play, he likes to defend. Declan Rice, obviously great at breaking things up and holding it. You know, losing a player like Declan Rice could have affected the way they play.
Yeah. Well, they've got two now. You know, so they're putting Souček with Alvarez and Ward-Prowse. So they've sort of just rejigged the way that they play. Paqueta's sort of on the left. And then you've got Bowen and Kudus, that sort of, one of them centre forward, one of them's on the right. And it's working for them most weeks. Sometimes they have a nightmare like they did at Fulham and where they got thrashed, and at Liverpool. But yeah, in the main, they've found a way of playing that suits them. But for me, they're weaker, obviously weaker without Declan Rice. I think anyone would be. But especially if you're a low possession team and you haven't got a player like, if you've had a player like Rice, that pretty much saves you numerous times without anyone really realising, and then you take them out, that's, you know, all of a sudden you wonder why West Ham's goalkeeper is suddenly one of the busiest in the Premier League. It's not rocket science. It's, you know, the work that he did was incredible there.
Yeah, and we've been seeing it here week in, week out, and absolutely loving it. Something that we won't necessarily love is when we lost to them in the Carabao Cup. You know, it was a frustrating loss that was, wasn't it? We want to avenge that.
We do. Yeah, it was an off night. We had a lot of possession, 77% possession, I think, something like that. Ben White with his bleached blonde. Yeah, it was a miscommunication there. And look, that's one long ball. It's, you know, similar to the Liverpool game. That one tested Zinchenko. And here was it. Just trying to remember this goal. It comes out, and this is your man. It's that Bowen that scores, and yeah, later on we brought on the big guns, didn't we? We brought on Saka and Odegaard towards the end, and we managed to get ourselves a goal. But it was just one of those nights where we rotated quite a lot of players, and we would just look disjointed, and we didn't really carry much of a threat until late on in the game. So look, West Ham will look back at this night and think, well, we did it to them then. Maybe we can do, you know, frustrate them in a similar way this evening. But the truth is that we, for most of that game, it was Arsenal's reserve team really up against them. So yeah, and they went, I think, absolutely full strength, which was bizarre. when you think that they then went to Liverpool and played their reserves in the next round. So they played their best team to beat us, and then they get through and they go to Liverpool away and they pretty much concede defeat and rest, I think, 8 or 9 players. So, yeah, it was a bit of a strange one.
I did see a lot of West Ham fans were really unhappy about that, weren't they? I'm guessing when they played, I think was it Manchester United, the fixture straight after that they won. So
yeah, so it's vindicated.
Yeah. But on the actual night, a lot of West Ham fans were saying this is why
it was one of the worst performances I've seen from a West Ham team. It was shocking. And look, if you're West Ham, you're not going to go down. You're not going to win the league. You're competing for the top 8. The cups are massive, aren't they? So yeah, I was a little bit surprised at that, but yeah, he'll feel vindicated because they went and beat Man United. But everyone beats Man United these days, don't they? It's not hard, is it?
They were lucky the other day, weren't they? Hey?
Very lucky.
Right, this West Ham side though, what are they good at? You know, where should we be kind of watching them and I guess not worrying, but just keeping an eye on?
Yeah, it's no surprise when I say fast breaks. They're superb at it. They don't have that much of the ball here. We've got the numbers on the screen. Goals from fast breaks this season. Look, we know Villa and Liverpool have got that in their armoury. Forest scored 2 at the weekend against Newcastle from fast breaks. But yeah, West Ham, they're brilliant at it. Paquetá will slide the ball in for Kudus or Bowen, and yeah, they can be deadly. So we've got to have our wits about us. They're also good at scoring goals, full stop, this season. I think they've scored in 16 of 18 games, which, West Ham haven't done that for many years. So yeah, we might not get a clean sheet here tonight if you look at that stat. So that's a bit of an issue.
With that in mind, I know it's a bit different at home compared to going away, whether that's mentally or what. But with that in mind, what happened in the Liverpool game with the simple ball over the top? Does that worry you then against this West Ham side?
Well, yeah, they'll try it, won't they? Yeah, they'll boom it at times. They don't really have Salah's not a target. Yeah, they will go sometimes long. They will. But we've just got to... We're a good pressing team. And I think, obviously, with Arnold coming inside, we weren't always able to get someone there quickly enough. I think tonight, with a front 5 as such, we should really have enough bodies around their players to put enough pressure on so that any balls that they do play long aren't quality balls. The problem comes when you're a bit lazy or you're a little bit slow and you don't go and close the ball, because then that player, even though he's not Virgil van Dijk, he's still a professional player that plays for West Ham. He's good enough to whack a ball over Zinchenko's head for Kudus. So that's the key. It's not necessarily what Zinni does, even though you want him to win those duels. It's really what happens higher up the pitch that's important. And as a pressing team this year, we've been very good. So I'm not worried.
Well, that being said then, the press against Paquetá is incredibly important then, because he's the guy who seems to slot it in behind.
Yeah, look, he's... we don't know what's going to happen with him, because he got these gambling charges and stuff, but he's put that to one side and he's having a fantastic season. So these are through balls. He's got the most in the Premier League. Look who's second. No surprise there, given that we played against him the other day. Bruno third, and Martin Ødegaard in fourth place on the through balls league table. So look, we know that Ødegaard can slip the ball in behind for anyone, but he hasn't done it as often as Lucas Paquetá.
Well, speaking of Paquetá, he's behind you now, getting a bit of treatment from the physio.
Oh, hello.
It's not looking... he's kind of running it out a little bit, kind of stamping his foot. So that could be something to keep an eye on. And we've got zero information beyond what I can see out the window, can I say? But he's walking off the field with the physio at the moment.
Normally I'd be thinking, well, you should be concentrating on what I'm talking about. But I'm actually quite impressed with that you spotted that.
It wasn't that somebody told me in my ear or anything, that it was happening. But he's actually walking off the field at the moment with the physio. So if we do get any news, we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, so that might be irrelevant. We'll see. But yeah, if you give him time and space, he'll put those other 2 guys away and in the clear. But we've got Gabriel and we've got Saliba, and Saliba's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think we can cover off those through balls potentially as well.
All right, should we have another guest?
I think so.
You up for that? All right, well, our next guest is someone who used to run pretty fast for Team GB. So much so, could probably give Martinelli or Saka a run for their money on the wing. It's former Team GB sprinter, now turned broadcaster. Janette Kwakye's here, everybody. Good to see you, Janette. Jump in the middle. Yes.
Oh, centre space. Hi, everyone.
Lovely to see you.
An actual show. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How's life?
I mean, it's good to be here tonight. What a game to be here for as well. I'm so excited.
Well,
very
especially
excited.
for you personally as well,
Like,
because
huge.
you grew up in East London, and didn't you as well? So this is kind of the Janette derby.
Yeah, as in, I brought my brother, who used to be an Arsenal fan till he was about 7. Then he became a West Ham fan. Like, what the hell is wrong with him? I don't know. So he's outside. He's outside. He's got a scarf on and everything. I'm like, do you know where you are? You're at the Emirates. So yeah, really, really nice to be here today. We're excited. He's really excited to watch Kudus up close because I think for him, like,
well, you're
Kudus-
Ghanaian, aren't you?
Exactly.
So,
It's about to come to that point. Kudus being from Ghana, so we're really excited for him as a player just to be here in the league. But obviously Arsenal tonight. I'm just so excited to see how they go and how Declan goes as well. So I'm really excited. Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why Arsenal then? Is it so? Was your family Arsenal?
So basically, when we were younger growing up, me and my brother, we used to go to a childminder and she used to live in Waltham Cross. Bless her. She's passed away now. Her name is Barbara. But she was a massive, massive Arsenal fan. They had a boxer dog called Merson. like it was a proper thing. So from then, when we were young, we just always used to support Arsenal. So when my brother was 6 and we did the double, I think it was the FA Cup and League. What year was that? Oh my God, it would have been like early 90s.
98?
90?
No, earlier.
No, earlier than that. 93. 93. And I was so jealous because my brother got to go and hold both cups. You know that? They did like a little photo
way.
shoot. And I didn't get to go. And I was like, why? But ever since then, massive Arsenal fan, like loved it, and then obviously my background in sport as well, so it's always nice to kind of keep across it as well.
Did you manage to get a ticket? Because it's so hard to get a ticket.
Yeah,
isn't it, for
I
Emirates
know.
these
Bless
days?
them. Do you know what? Arsenal have been really, really lovely to me for this particular game. I did a little bit of work for them in the summer, and they said, okay, you know what? Pick a game. I'm like, Arsenal West Ham, please. So yeah, we managed to come, and it's nice to come after Christmas as well, and it's like my little treat to my brother. So
do you know what? I'm a little bit surprised you picked Arsenal West Ham because I know, we know each other a little bit. So I know that your other half is a massive Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
And if you look at the top of the table at the moment,
Our house is peak right now, guys. It's so tense. But you know what? The fact is, with my husband in Liverpool, I always laugh because he's from Leighton in East London. I'm like, why do you support Liverpool? Like, it's so far away. Why not support your local?
Leyton Orient.
You know what I mean? That's our second team, Leyton Orient. But in the sense that he is having a great time with Liverpool, I'm having a great time with Arsenal. We've got 2 little kids, and at the minute, and I say this at the minute, my son supports Arsenal, which is how it's going to stay.
Come on.
Give us some energy.
A
bit more. So I got him.
You've got to work hard to win that battle sometimes.
It's a proper battle. And like my husband was not trying to give up the fight. But eventually our little boy came over to us. So I was really happy with that.
It's the same, same with me with Arsenal, Leicester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I worked.
He was worried for a minute.
I got them in the box here.
Did you?
And that was the game changer.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
This is it, absolutely.
And then Timber came in, didn't he? And that was that.
Oh yeah, Timber came in when they were here. Yeah, but you're really busy as well. You say you're a working mum.
Yeah.
I mean, your career is going. It's really taken off.
Adrian, yeah.
After you've already scaled so many heights as an athlete.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, you must be just loving it.
No, I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really lucky. I get to work across a number of sports. Nick and I, like we say, we know each other quite well. So I work across a number of sports, but football, Premier League, WSL, Olympic sport, boxing, bit of basketball.
She does it all.
Yeah, whatever it is. Like I turn my head because I just love sport. You know what I mean? And there's something about, especially nights like this. You know, if we nail it and we get the goals in, you can't replicate that feeling, can you? Like it happens once. You feel it. You want to bottle it until it happens 3 or 4 times if we get all the goals. So it should be a good one.
On top of all those sports you mentioned, you're saving people money with Martin Lewis as well these days. You know what I mean? So if you want to change your gas supplier tonight, have a word with Janette.
I mean, he's a legend, that guy,
isn't
he?
He's unbelievable. So he's a massive sports fan. He's a big athletics fan, actually.
Yeah, I know,
he loves all the stats. So yeah, I do that show.
Does he know it all himself, or has he got like an army of people?
No, he has got an incredible team of people. They work with us on the day. But he's incredible. He writes the whole show. Like he gets it, and I think he's just trying to save everyone money. So I'm learning like everybody else on the show. Like he'll start, and I'll be like, right, I've got to make some notes tonight. I've got to switch over my gas supply. Got to change my savings account. But it's really exciting because actually it's such an important show, especially with the time we're in at the minute.
Definitely.
So he's really treasured. He's so lovely as well. Yeah.
Right, Janette, before we let you go, got to get a minute to win it from you. This is basically our little leaderboard. All you need to do is pick the first, or the minute that the first goal is going to be scored in tonight's game.
Ooh.
You're in Timbers in second place.
Okay.
He's not on the leaderboard yet.
Yeah.
Like
I think he's the closest we've had is 2 or 3 minutes away from the actual time. So you might need to nail it.
I think
Gotta be good.
I think it's going to be 17 minutes. I think we're going to go quite early.
17?
Yeah.
Gilberto went 19,
Yeah,
didn't
did
he? So
oh yeah, you had Gilberto one, didn't you?
Yeah, you and Gilberto.
Well, I'm glad I'm in good company tonight.
Legends only.
Legends only. I just saw him out on the pitch. I was like, ooh. Okay,
Right,
yes.
Let's hear it for Janette Kwakye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Enjoy the
Thanks so
game,
much.
Janette. Lovely to see you. There we go, gone close to Gilberto there, and another legend on the show.
Two great guests, yeah. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Janette because obviously I've had 2 careers. You know, you're a sports person and you have to start again, sort of from the bottom and work your way up. And she's doing so well as a broadcaster. You can see she's just got that natural energy, hasn't she? About a good personality, and she's a gooner, so even better.
Before she retired, she took me training once, and I couldn't walk for about 4 days. I'm not even joking. It was outrageous. I couldn't get out of my car.
Did you race it?
Well, I tried to, but like I just got blown away, didn't I? Anyway, enough about that. Right, we've chatted about West Ham's strengths. Where are they weak? Where are they get-at-able?
Well, I just think that you can get. Well, I think this back four is weak for a start. I mean, you've got Emerson, I think, at left back. Soufal's not a bad player, but better going forward than he is as a defender. Tonight, Mavropanos is in, isn't he? Ogbonna's in the side as well. Agerd is normally first choice with Kurt Zouma, so that is an issue for them, I think. So yeah, I mean, not that many weaknesses, just more the fact that they face a lot of shots. I think only 3 teams in the division have faced more shots than West Ham, and you know, they wouldn't surprise you to know that Luton, I think, and Sheffield United are 2 of those 3 above them. So you can definitely create against West Ham. You can pepper the goalkeeper, Areola. It's just, you know, are we going to bring our shooting boots and be clinical tonight?
Well, we normally get a lot of shots away here at Emirates Stadium. Our home form as of late has been pretty good as well, I think it's fair to say.
I mean, we're loving it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been tremendous. Absolutely brilliant. This is the last game, right? With 7 wins in a row. So all the results are in the brackets there. Some really good wins. But look at the numbers that precede them at the shot count. So Brighton 26-6. We battered them. Wolves 19-6. You go through it. Sevilla 11-1. Sheffield United 13-2.
And that one came in injury time, didn't it, for Sevilla, if I remember correctly?
And the most impressive of all is Manchester City at the bottom there. 12 shots, just 4 against. You'll notice there on the right-hand side of those columns, not one number is above 8. So if you can, you know, I know we're at home, but most teams do register double-figure shots a game, you know. So we're doing a tremendous job at shutting teams out. We're attacking them, we're creating plenty, but we're also not exposing David Raya too often. And that's a good thing, it has to be. He's faced the fewest shots by far in the Premier League this season, which shows how far we've come, because it wasn't always like this, was it? Like, you know, just a few years ago, we were conceding, I would say, 15, 16, 17 shots most weeks. Yeah. And conceding a lot of goals, so we've made so much progress.
Yeah. Right, let's check in with our commentary team for tonight. Then Dan Roebuck is alongside Nigel Winterburn. Merry Christmas, fellas! Hope you had a good one.
Season's greetings.
I had a superb Christmas, thank you very much. I did indeed, stress-free.
Fantastic stuff, and we're hoping for 3 points today, Nigel.
We certainly are. Are you?
Absolutely. Look, top of the league if Arsenal win tonight, don't worry about that. One thing I would say, that while you had your various guests in the box, I don't know if you or any of your guests were just out of the corner of your eye, just watching the pitch. It has been absolutely soaked ahead of kick-off here. Let's just hope that nobody slips over tonight, that's all I'm saying.
It was so slippery, wasn't it? I mean, what's your take on that, Nigel? I know it's not tonight's game. Do you think Liverpool deliberately sabotaged that pitch? Because their players seem to have different studs on to us.
Well, it's all about preparation. Sure, you've got the right studs on. Let me tell you, Clarke should know that with George Graham, the defenders had to wear 6-inch studs and nothing less.
Right, we'll leave it there then. It sounds like they're having a jubilant time, plus the audio's a little bit in and out. We'll leave it there with the
line's
boys.
a bit better for the commentary.
Fingers crossed.
I used to, sometimes clean Nigel's boots as well. Yeah, he's they did have longer studs. Yeah, some of the defenders had the old metal ones. Very different studs to the ones you see these days.
You wouldn't fancy going in for a crunching tackle with them if they didn't have long studs on, let alone with massive long studs. Right, we haven't even really spoke about this. This is the Declan Rice derby.
I know.
He's back facing his old team. Of course, we saw him against them in the Carabao Cup game that we spoke about earlier. But it's playing West Ham for the first time in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Just how good has he been since he signed
sensational.
this?
Yeah, I just can't really fault him as a player. I just think he's near perfect as a midfielder. Can do it all. Physical. It's just the way he suffocates players. He jumps out of the press, doesn't he? He goes and when they want to play out from the back, he's all over them, like he did against Brighton. He can score goals. He can create. He's a brilliant tackler. I think we've got some numbers in terms of his interceptions, and that's just one number that we can show you. I mean, he's so far ahead in most categories, but this is just interceptions. It just blows everybody else away in terms of Arsenal players. It's just down to reading the game, football brain. His football brain just works that little bit faster than most players. And these are sharp professional players, that he's playing with and against. But yeah, you got some clips here from the game against Brighton. I want to see a bit of this tonight. I mean, West Ham won't play out from the back like Brighton did, but this is what he offers. He'll just steam in. If they do try and play it into one of the midfielders, he'll be on them in a flash. There he is again, second phase, wins the ball again. I covered a lot of West Ham before we signed him, so I knew how good he was because I always used to make him man of the match when I was on Go-Kart because he was like, well, it's Rice. Rice is easily the best player. I don't think everyone maybe here. I mean, we all knew he was a good player, but when you don't see him that often, you don't realise the work he puts in. But we do now, don't we? I mean, he's made such a difference.
Unreal.
Yeah. And hopefully he shines tonight. It'd be lovely if he scored, wouldn't it? I wouldn't expect him to celebrate, but it'd be tremendous if he did.
Yeah, please the crowd, that's for sure. Right, Jared Bowen, you've picked out as their danger man.
Got to be because he's a flyer. We talked about them on fast breaks. He also loves an away game. Look at this, 7 away goals. They've played 9 away games and he scored in 7 of them. So this is a player that is well suited to this type of game, and he'll probably plonk himself in behind Zinchenko. He'll make runs in behind him. And Gabriel, he'll avoid Saliba. I think most players do these days, but he'll run that channel, and he's lethal. He's a good player. He's also good in the air, and he can, inside the box if a ball falls to him, he's a pretty good finisher. So, yeah, he's one we've got to watch.
Just to let everybody know, just before we get stat trick from you, Clarke, Paquetá does start.
Okay.
Right, let's run that stat trick then and have a quick look.
God, it's gone quick, hasn't it, this pre-match? We haven't even spoken to any of the audience really properly. We'll do it, don't worry, you'll be on it at half-time. Here we go. We're unbeaten in our last 13 home games in all comps since losing to Brighton. That feels a long time ago now, doesn't it, last May. West Ham have won their final league game in just one of their last 7 calendar years. That was against Watford in 2021. So, traditionally they're not that good in this last game of the year. And against no side of West Ham lost more Premier League games than they have against us. Let's hope we haven't jinxed that. But it's there in black and white. I've read it out. Let's hope that stat continues.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Right, Clarke, thank you very much for now. Back with me at half-time, but the players have emerged from the tunnel here at Emirates Stadium. They're just lining up down there, so the perfect time for us to hand over to our commentary team for the first half. Arsenal against West Ham United here at Emirates Stadium in the company of Nigel Winterburn. But first, Dan Roebuck. Woo!
Many thanks, Adrian. Many thanks to Nick Sterlingwork, as per usual. Season's greetings to one and all. And we do sincerely hope that you've had a good festive period so far. And it's always good when Arsenal can rack up the points at this time of your year. The games come thick and fast for the Gunners, as we know. We've still got another one in December after this. That will be 8 for the month across the competitions. This, of course, is a second meeting with West Ham, as the Gunners have their first post-Christmas fixture today. But having been knocked out the League Cup by the Hammers, this game is far more serious. A win tonight for Mikel Arteta's side will see them climb back to the top of the table. All the stats suggest this should be a home win. Arsenal have won 12 of their last 13 Premier League games against West Ham in North London, with the exception being a 2-0 loss on the opening weekend of the 15-16 campaign. But that was then. This is now. And with the title race hotting up after Manchester City jumped back into the top 4 with the win at Everton last night, drop points this evening are off the menu. We're starting to get into the business end of the season, really, Nigel. We've got the FA Cup coming round the corner. We know our Champions League round of 16 opponents, but we can't afford to drop points at home, can we?
No, you can't, and I feel that this is a huge game tonight against West Ham. Just wondering at the start whether West Ham will sit a little deep and try and then counter-attack on the break, or with the way that they're set up, they've got a very attacking lineup themselves. It could be a classic game tonight. It could be end-to-end.
A reminder of the two teams for you. Arsenal just a one alteration from the game against Liverpool, with Leandro Trossard coming in for the suspended Kai Havertz. It is 4-3-3, Raya in goal, back four from left to right of Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba and White, Trossard, Rice and Ødegaard as the midfield trio, and then the attacking three of Gabriel Martinelli left-hand side, Bukayo Saka right, and Gabriel Jesus up top. As for West Ham, just one change for the Hammers as well from their win over Manchester United last time out. Ogbonna comes in for Zuma. We think it's going to be 4-2-3-1 with Areola in goal, back four from left to right of Emerson, Ogbonna, and then Alvarez and Souček will hold back Qatar, Ward-Prowse and Kudus as a midfield trio supporting Jared Bowen. Bowen making his 150th Premier League appearance. This is his 143rd for West Ham, 7 of course for Hull. Our match day official is Michael Oliver. West Ham in their change strip of dark blue, Arsenal of course in red and white, and as North London Forever rings around the stadium here for this first post-Christmas fixture for Arsenal. We're about to get underway. A huge game, a capital clash. West Ham have already